Hello, everyone. Welcome to our session of tonight, Meet the Global Leader, episode 27. We hope you all are doing fantastic. And the objective of this session is to share this life stories of our guests that from their campus to corporate life and their skills, their experience, so that like most of our audience who are undergraduate students, they can get an idea of like how it looks like, how it is to be a professional worker, and how they should prepare before going into their entrepreneurial or professional sector. So, the School of Entrepreneurship Development is basically uh, believe passionately in the power of idea sharing to change attitudes, lives, and ultimately the world. And the vision of School of Entrepreneurship Development is to upgrade living standard of people through sustainable economic development and to create visionary entrepreneur through providing proper mentorship and business coaching, and to facilitate new venture establishment through connecting entrepreneurs as well as investors. And today, our guest, Monica, she is a very highly skilled and passionate human resources specialist. The best part of her role is helping candidates to find their next dream job by coaching them along the way. So yeah, you can understand, you can get a lot of insightful ideas about like professional sector. And she is an experienced full life cycle talent acquisition professional with a focus on recruitment and sourcing, committed on building and maintaining good candidate experience while finding the best talent to support the business's needs. And currently, she is working as a technical recruiter at Amazon. Yeah, the Amazon for our consumer for their consumer organization. Her team is hiring for software development engineers across London, Madrid, Barcelona, Luxembourg, and other few countries. So
Yeah.
let's welcome our guest, Monica. Welcome to our session.
Thank you, everyone, and thank you, Mabuk, for that intro. And right now I feel super important. I felt like you were talking about someone, and it was like, that is me. Yeah, that's me. So thank you, everyone, and thank you for having me. First of all, yeah.
Great. Monica, it would be great if you give a brief introduction apart from mine about yourself. Yeah.
Okay, perfect. As Mabuk was saying, I'm Mónica. So my name is Mónica García, and I'm based in Madrid, the capital of Spain. You may be aware of Spain because it's one of, I think, it's the second most visited country in the world. Okay. I'm based in Madrid. I'm currently not from Madrid. I'm from a small town close to Madrid, which is where I grew up. But yeah, I've been living in Madrid for the last more than 10 years now, because all the big universities and all the, let's say, job opportunities you will find in big cities like this one. That is where I live. Apart from that, a little bit about my background. So I studied psychology, so that's my bachelor degree. But actually, when I was growing up, I wanted to be a vet. So you never know where you're gonna end up. Okay, I wanted to be a vet. I wanted to take care of animals. But at the end, I discovered that I was also afraid of some kind of animals. So I was like, okay, now I'm gonna help people instead of animals, and that's how I became a psychologist. And yeah, after I graduate from psychology, I wanted to know a bit more about, okay, how can I enter in the business world? I was doing some research. I was doing looking for different ways, and I found the, let's say, the HR world or the human resources world. Okay, and that's how I end up doing my master's degree there, like the specialization. I did it in a university in Madrid, which was a private one, but you also have publics, and they both give you a really, really good, let's say, experience and professionality there. And when I finished my master's degree, again, I start looking for a job, and I end up working for a consulting firm, which is called Deloitte. It's one of these kind of companies where you start working as many things. I always like to say that you wear many hats. Okay. That is like a really, really good base for everything that you're gonna learn later on. So yeah, that's me. Professionally, in the more, let's say, personal side, I love to learn about languages. I love animals. Um, I like to try different foods. I like to travel. So I'm a lot into connecting people, from different places and learning more about different cultures. Yeah, that's it.
Great. It's a like profound and versatile, characteristics of yourself. So, how was your university life? Because we want to talk about a bit the beginning of your career and
Mm-hmm.
of university life. As you know, like most of our audience are undergrad students. So, how was your university? What you did during your university life
Mm-hmm.
differently,
Yeah.
apart from study?
Yeah, of course. That's the main thing, right? To get the degrees and to pass the exams. Yeah, that's one
Yeah.
of the main things. After that, but you can do things in between. Yeah. So my university was kind of you had to do your hours. You had to put a lot of, let's say, effort for the exams, but at the same time you had the chance to be involved in different things, like volunteer stuff, even like trying different kind of startups and see also how that was. So for example, in my case, while I was studying at the university, um, I was doing some volunteer activities. So for example, as a psychologist, you could also have different kind of people. So I was working, I think, for a year in jails. So in different jails all around Madrid, just helping people there, doing different activities. So, for example, you had people finishing their time at jail and they needed to find a job, so maybe someone from human resources could offer them the possibility, like, okay, let's review your CV together. Let's see what you can put. Let's see what you shouldn't put. Um, and yeah, so for example, that is one of the things I was doing. Another thing, I was also, for example, helping women there. So women that were previously in kind of abusive relationships, to the psychologist part of coaching them, help them feel better, also working on their self-esteem. So yeah, one of the things that I enjoyed the most about my university time was this like kind of jail internship, which wasn't an internship because it was like non-paid, of course, but I enjoyed that time a lot. And the second thing that I did a lot during my university years, it was working for my family business, which you can mention that is like a business opportunity. So I come from a family that my dad has a shoe factory in one of the rural areas of like in a small town in Toledo. And I wanted to learn more about that, so my summers were spent there. I wanted to learn, how to make a shoe. I wanted to learn the numbers behind, like how many shoes you need to sell if you want to make a business successful, how the different suppliers, how everything works. So that also gave me an idea on how to, let's say, um, the business world works before entering into the business real life, and also gave me some like pocket money, to do my own things on weekends. So yeah, I think that working on summers in my business family and volunteering at the jail are the two main things that I will enjoy the most while I was at the university. Yeah.
So it's pretty much good experience. I must say that to like involved in three things. I mean, you studied psychology and then
Mm-hmm.
you did an internship and also learned business while you were a student. So it's
Yeah.
different experiences you had. So how did you think? I mean, why you have your family business, but
Mm-hmm.
apart from that, you came to work for different company,
Mm-hmm.
and you studied psychology, and it is so much connected that like HR, like to deal with human.
Yeah.
So how did you uh, how did your early career choices lead you to where you are right now?
Yeah, that's a really good question, because at the beginning you don't have it clear. You finish your degree, you are a psychologist, and you can do different things. So you can be a clinical psychologist, you can have your own patients in your own private clinic. And it's something that at first I tried, but I don't know why I felt like I wanted to make impact not only in one person. I also wanted to make an impact maybe in a larger company. So I wanted to try that, and that's how I started with the HR world, And for example, one of my first real experiences at Deloitte, I could see that, because as a person from HR, from human resources, you were the point of contact for so many things, even things that you weren't aware that was your task. Like, for example, if someone was complaining about the working space and they didn't want to work in that area, and I was like, is that also my job? One of the many things. But no, of course, I think my career path was
Do I
chosen.
belong here? Sometimes you feel like that.
Yeah, it's like, okay, everything can be your job, So yeah, but I start there. I will say my career path was HR after psychology, because I wanted to make impact not only in individuals but also in corporate environments that affects everyone, and working in how someone can feel better, coaching them, helping them improve in their day-to-day, doing also interviews, to find the right talent for the right company. That's something that I love. Interviewing is one of my favorite jobs. It's also because as an HR person, you are normally the first face that someone sees from a company. Yeah. So imagine the importance that you have. Okay, imagine that you are the face. For example, right now I'm the face from Amazon that you are seeing, even if I'm not here as a worker from Amazon. But I think that for me, the impact was, if I'm in the HR world, I'm gonna have, I'm gonna help, and I'm gonna contribute to a lot of people, not only to one-on-one clients. Yeah.
Great. And what career mistake has given you the biggest lesson?
Good question. And that is related also maybe with the HR world. So at the beginning, when you are, let's say when you finish your job and your studies, and you don't know what you want to do next, I will tell you to not focus immediately on what job is better paid or what job gives you the higher salary. Also explore your possibilities, because sometimes I think it's much easier to know from the beginning what you don't like or what you don't want, and things you don't want to be involved, and things you don't want to work on. But it's much more difficult later to know to what you want to dedicate your life. Okay, in the sense that, okay, for me, in my case, I knew from the beginning that maybe clinical psychology and the clinical path was not a thing for me, but that was one thing I was crossing out of my list. But I still had to manage so many different choices. For example, inside the HR world, you have millions of possibilities. You can be a compensation expert. You can be a recruitment expert. You can be a coaching and things and topics about leadership. Okay. So one of the mistakes, if I had to talk about one of the mistakes for me, at the beginning was trying to decide too fast. I will encourage people to take their times while they are discovering what's their true call, even if it sounds a little bit cliche. But yeah, because sometimes you're okay.
Just to interrupt, it's not true call, right? Okay, so it's true call.
True call.
For our audience. I'm just joking. Yeah, please.
Yeah, but I think you understand what I'm saying.
Exactly.
Yeah, sometimes it's okay, what is the job that pays the most, and I'm gonna join that. That can work in a short time, but I don't think that is going to work on the long run, because you will get burned out. You are gonna get to a point that you are saying, okay, why I'm here, what I'm doing with my life. So for me, that was one of the mistakes. One of the mistakes for me was ending my career I'm putting on the internet, on the Google browser, what is the thing that gets me most paid with a psychology degree, and I wanted to do that. So if I have to teach something out of my mistake is explore different possibilities, because in my case, I started working at Deloitte and I was like, okay, I'm going to do recruiting. I'm going to do recruitment and that's it. I'm going to do a bunch of interviews. I'm going to hire a lot of people. And after a couple of years, I was like, okay, maybe I want to explore more options. Maybe I want to know what other career paths I can explore, which is something that, for example, if someone has studied business, if someone has studied engineer, they can also do. Like, I don't know, engineers, they only think, for example, about programming and that's it. Business people only think about accountant, accountability, this kind of like I will say business jobs, but they don't get creative. They don't think they could create a startup. They can create a new product. They can create something that the society and the stakeholder needs, and no one has even figured out yet. So yeah, I will say one of the main mistakes that I'm encouraging people not to do is take your time, explore different possibilities, and don't be afraid of changing paths. Like in my case, for example, when I joined the second company, when I joined Amazon, like let's say I deviate a little bit of what I was doing before. So before maybe I was doing things and now I'm doing different things, which I like the most. And I prefer these ones, the ones that I'm currently doing. But I didn't know that I was liking these ones because at the beginning I was just focused on having a job and having a salary. So yeah, take your time. I'm not saying, and I will put more information here, I'm not saying don't work and just be lazy until you don't have your true call, okay? What I'm saying is have a job, have an income, have a salary, but at the meantime, in the meantime, if that doesn't make you happy, keep exploring your options, in your after work hours, in your weekends. Just don't give up until you think, okay, this is what I like to do. Yeah.
Exactly. Great. Yeah. And also, like in our country especially, there is most students, they have that misunderstandings that if you study, say for example, psychology, you have to be a psychologist. If you study HR, in HR, you have to go for HR professional job.
No.
So you see, this is a misunderstanding. That thing that very important, and I think one of the most important things is wait for the call. And if you find an opportunity,
Yeah.
at first you should go for it, right? Then you
Yeah.
can understand. If you go for it, you can understand that, oh, this is not my
Yeah.
job.
But you have to take it.
Okay.
Agree?
Exactly.
Yeah, definitely.
And like, how has the field changed? Let's go back into that HR field as you are HR specialist.
Okay.
Uh, how has the field changed in the past 5 years? What do you predict will happen in the next 5 to 10 years
Okay.
in the sector of HR?
Yeah. So one of the things that we have been seeing as a trend is that in the past, in the HR world, things and jobs were super ambiguous. You have vague job descriptions, you have open job descriptions, which meant as an HR, you have to do everything related with people in the company. Like I was telling you, like, oh, where is this fridge here? Or like, I don't have a window. And it's like, wait, do I have to do that? Like everything was kind of on the air. So what I have been seeing recently that have changed is that now in the HR world, the job responsibilities are super, 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 I don't want to say narrow, but you have your job description and you have your specialty, in the sense that I think 5 years ago, an HR person was doing a lot of things, again, different hats. And I think that can still happen if you are the owner of a startup, If you are the owner of a startup, if you are the founder of a startup, you are doing everything. You are doing CEO, you are doing marketing, you are doing HR, because it's only you creating your company. But if you're in an established and let's say medium large company, what I'm seeing as a trend and as a change is that now you are getting your specialty, which it's making the businesses works better, in the sense that if your job is to, let's say, if your job is to clean, you are cleaning. If your job is to wash people's hair, we are washing people's hairs. If your job is to interview, you are not doing everything. You are not cleaning. You are doing this and this and this, because one, you're gonna get burnt out. Two, you don't know how to measure the success, because you don't know how much time you are putting into every hat. Okay. So I think the tendency in all the companies is to get specialized and is to get specifics. And you can see it in the market. Like right now, they don't want, I think nowadays they don't want that kind of holistic profile. They want someone that is a specialist in, for example, recruitment, or a specialist in compensation issues. And they know a lot about salaries, and they know a lot about market intelligence. Other companies, they only want coach and mentorships and mentors for their senior leaders. So that is one of the changes. I will say much more specialized and shorter job descriptions and roles. And if I have to make a guess about what will happen in the future, I think two main things. One is artificial intelligence. So artificial intelligence is going to eliminate a lot of human jobs. That is one of the things, which at the same time can be a positive thing if you have a job that you are always adding value, in the sense that there is no machine, there is no robot that with an algorithm behind can be you. That's a good thing, okay? At the second time, a lot of manual jobs, they can be replaced, which will be the shame part or the negative part, because it's going to force people to, I wouldn't say to learn more, but it's going to make people to try to add always a value in their job, not only the manual stuff, not only the day-to-day, because let me put you an example. Right now you are seeing, and this is like, I think it's one of my, if I had to make a guess about how the HR world will change, we are seeing nowadays more and more and more companies that one part of the interview process is not with a human, is with a camera. So, some companies send you a bunch of questions and they tell you, please record yourself answering those questions and send it back to me. And someone in the company will analyze that. But you are just yourself, okay, in front of a camera, reading questions like, why do I want this job? I want this job because of this or this or this. Or what is your background? My background, and no one is talking to you. I think that, okay, in the long run, half of the recruiters won't exist anymore. But also in the long run, candidates are going to be much less engaged with that company. If candidates want to find a job, okay, and they have 5 companies, who do you think that the company is going to apply for? To the company that is talking with a camera, or to the company that is talking with a person, that is smiling, that is interacting with them? So if I have to make a future guess, I will say that artificial technology is great for the field, for the HR field, but it doesn't have everything covered. And your job as an HR person, as a technical recruiter, as a human resources consultant, is to check where you are adding the value. Because again, I think some professions you cannot make it into a machine, into a robot, into an algorithm. And I'm seeing this nowadays, for example, with my candidates. Amazon is one of the companies that are still doing face-to-face interviews. Well, with COVID, no, not anymore, but I'm still doing virtual face-to-face interviews. And some candidates tell me, Mónica, if I have to say something, I can only mention positive feedback. It was great talking to you. It was great having someone listening to me, listening to my concerns, advising me on how should I prepare for future interviews. and they are not choosing other companies that the only thing they had to do is just to record a 30 minutes video of themselves. And if they get successful, they will hear again from them, but if not, they won't hear anything. So yeah, artificial intelligence will have a super big impact in the HR world. Yeah.
Right, very informative. And
Yeah.
tell us about briefly your organization and the impact you are creating for your community, or maybe global community, whatever it is.
Yeah. Okay. I can talk about both. So for those of you who don't know Amazon, and I know that Amazon is a big company, but sometimes I prefer even to give more details because it is not launched in every country, and I promise you that that has happened to me. So for example, in Amsterdam some years ago, they were having like the Amsterdam version of Amazon, so they weren't aware of it. But nowadays is the largest e-commerce platforms, okay, where you can order anything. And apart from the website, which is the main thing, they are also involved in many different things that helps people. Right now, they are working with machine learning. They are creating these devices with voices, like for example, Alexa. I don't know if you have heard about it. So they are doing it for different jobs. For all people, so they can have someone to talk with. So they are involved in many different things. If I had to talk about, let's say, the impact that they are having, you can speak globally and you can talk also locally. So I will also talk about Spain after, but globally, one of the things that right now I feel super proud, and I'm really proud of being part of Amazon. Since the COVID, I mean, you cannot imagine how much the online and the e-commerce sales have grown. Okay, we were receiving thousands and thousands of people, in Spain, everywhere, saying, I have two kids. I was at home with COVID. I couldn't go out to buy food for my kids, or to buy diapers, or to buy anything. I ordered it through Amazon. Amazon saved my life, for example. Other things that they are doing with the devices that they are creating, Alexa, for example. Alexa can be used for something funny, like Alexa, tell me what is the weather. Alexa, put my alarm, okay, which they can be things to facilitate your life. But since COVID, also, Alexa got an increase of sales in all people, and in nursing homes, because they were putting that for elder people to talk with someone, so they were like, imagine, Alexa, tell me about a story, or Alexa, please tell me what is the year that someone was born. And they were like using their minds, they were activating their memories, even for all
Maybe,
people.
or maybe like guess what I want to eat right now.
Yeah.
Maybe.
It was helping them. And for some old people that they don't know how the mobiles work, and they wanted to call their family, and if you see, for example, my grandma, when she tries to call me, she calls 5 more cousins first, because she is like, oh, I thought you were in the number 1. Oh, number 2, like, oh, Monica's in the number 5. So for example, Alexa was connected to the phones. So if you were saying, Alexa, please call my granddaughter Monica, she wouldn't press 5 different buttons. So the impact that they are making is huge, globally, I will say. And if I have to speak locally, yesterday I was reading a news. So Amazon entered in Spain in 2011, so more than 10 years now. And since that, they have invested millions of euros in the country. They have created more than, yesterday I read, it was more than 18,000 fixed term, like long-term permanent contracts. And, indirect jobs, I think it was more than 300,000. Because at the same time, every person that has a small business in Spain, they can also sell their stuff through the Amazon website. So imagine that you have a small business, like my dad has a small business, and they are in a tiny rural area in Toledo, and someone wants their shoes. If you put your shoes on Amazon, Amazon will use their, let's say, change, their suppliers, their distributed change, so you can deliver those products. So yeah, I will say in general, the impact that they are making locally and globally, it's amazing, and it's something I'm really proud of. Yeah, when people ask me why do I like to work there.
Great. Can I get a pair of shoe from your shoe factory?
We will need to check how they can be delivered to Dhaka, to Bangladesh. But yeah, we could check that. Yeah.
Great. Thank you. And to go to our next, I think so many people wants to know about how to get a job at Amazon, but we will come to that. But let's take.
Okay.
Oh wow, there is a one comment related to that. So let's see.
Okay.
So Muhammad Aman, basically, he's the chairman and chief consultant of Enterprise 360 Limited. Okay, it's
Okay.
some management consultancy firm in Bangladesh. So you see, he asked, what is the selection process of an ideal candidate for Amazon, and
Okay.
which skills do you check with candidate?
Okay, good question here. So and it's a really complicated question because it depends on the job you are applying for. If it's more tech related, if it's more business related. But as a general, if I can give like a brief or overview summary, I will say that we try to make the process short, but at the same time, we try to make the process good, that makes good filter of the candidates, in the sense of, for example, I can talk about myself and my current role. I'm recruiting for technical positions, which means software developers, program managers, these kind of technical roles, okay, for different parts of the Amazon websites. Normally what we check first is the CV. Okay, so once people send me their CV, once people apply, I will check the CV. So if they have the right technical skills, which I will make a stop here, because some people think that they can only apply to a company if they have a bachelor or a master's degree. No, okay, that is not true. Okay, you can be self-taught. You can be someone that spend hours on the library, spend hours learning by their own, reading. So that's something that it shouldn't stop you. Okay, if you have the technical skills, I don't care where you have learned them. I mean, I don't care if you have the degree or not. So that is what we check in the CV first, that you have the technical skills. So for example, to put on a specific case, in my case, I need people that they can program, that they can code. Okay, so the coding part of the website. After that, if the CV says these people know a programming language, I will have an interview with them, okay? In my interview, what I normally check is more about soft skills, is more about a conversation, between two professionals. I want to understand how they work under pressure. I want to understand how they work in team situations, if they are good players, if they have the ownership to take on something that wasn't for them, which is something that, by the way, people sometimes don't take as an important as it is. For some roles, the soft skills are much more important than technical skills, in the sense that you can be great at coding, you can be great at numbers, but if you are not a team player, if you don't have ownership, if you don't have this kind of soft skills, you won't have, let's say, a long success in a company. Which I'm telling you that people sometimes underestimate, and is really important. And
Yep.
yeah, as a third step, and the last step is always a technical interview with maybe the final manager, where the manager checks that these candidates can do a practical exercise. A practical exercise like, this person is coding, this person is designing, this person is doing this with an Excel sheet. But yeah, that is like the process. We try to make it short, but at the same time that filters well the candidates. And ideal candidate, there is none. Okay, each of us, if we put the CV in a good way and we see a job description that we can apply, I will encourage them to apply. I think I lost you, Mabub. Can you hear me?
Oh, sorry. Yeah, great. And
Yeah.
I think it will take us to the another question, which is, how to prepare. It's a general question, like if you can answer shortly, right? How to prepare for interview and tips for the interview process.
Yeah. If I have to give you like a summary, is first of all, before you are attending to the interview, check the job description that you have applied to. Imagine that you have applied for business development, business consultant, a strategic partner, software developer. I don't care. Whatever you have applied to. I will tell you not to study that job description, but have in mind all the bullet points that they are asking you in that job description. So in the interview, you can show them when they ask you, you can show them that you have that experience. If in the job description says, we are expecting someone that knows how to use LinkedIn, you memorize that, okay? And in the interview, when they ask you, you can tell an example about that. So if they ask you, do you have previous LinkedIn experience? You don't have to say only yes. You give them something that creates a bigger impact. Like, of course, and I can tell you about a time when last year I was doing my own sourcing for my own company. I reached out more than 500 people. I was in process with more than 20 people, and I finally hired 2 people. So my first recommendation is prepare and read very well the job description. And secondly is, and this is going to sound super, super cheesy, but smile and look at the person's eyes. Okay. I think it's something that not a lot of candidates do. I don't know why, if embarrassment, if cultural things, but some people, they don't look at you. Some people, they don't, like this nodding thing, which is fundamental to create rapport, they don't do it. So you are like, what is the problem with this person? I don't see these soft skills. So prepare good, read the job description, and smile, ask questions, and create this engagement. That are my 2 tips.
Great. So there is another question
Sure.
from our comment.
Okay.
Again, Mr. Aman, he asked, how do you see the remote job, or does Amazon have an employee who are working from remote place?
Yeah, good question. So I think remote job is going to be the future. I will say that nowadays, if you don't put remote work as an option in your company, you are going to lose the talent, because nowadays is how the world works, with or without COVID. I think remote work is here to stay, and if you don't adapt, you are going to have to increase somehow the benefits of your company to your employees. If you are not offering remote work, remote job, you will have to offer something else. You will have to offer more money. You will have to offer different kind of benefits. But if not, you will lose talent. You will lose people. Yes, Amazon has the working from remote place option. I don't think it has it in all the teams. So, for example, logistics, the logistic centers needs to have people there, like working with the packages to be delivered, of course. So there are some jobs that they cannot be remote. But for example, corporate jobs, if you see me right now, I'm working from my home. Like, and I think that if you don't adapt, like Amazon is doing, you will have to increase a lot your benefits to retain the workers there. I think you're on mute, Mabu.
Great. So like the thing that you just shared right before that, smile, engage with the people. There is what is it? The tagline: "Spend less, smile more" of Amazon.
We have something similar. We have work hard, but have fun and make history. So we have the 3. We have work hard, have fun, and make history. And it's because sometimes you don't care about the impact of your work if you don't enjoy it. You know what I mean? So
Yeah,
it has to be a balance. Yeah. Yeah.
great. And my next question is, like you have like vast experience in recruiting people around the like mostly Europe and Asia too, right?
Yeah,
So
Asia too, mostly everywhere. Not North America because that's a different, let's say,
religion,
headquarters.
yeah,
But yeah.
yeah. So you engaged with, you have been engaging with so many like people from different cultures, different
Mm-hmm.
countries, different backgrounds. Like uh, what do you think? Uh, the people who who got recruited before, the things in common from different countries in them.
Good question. I will say technically they are experts in something. Okay, that's one thing they have in common. Doesn't matter which country or which culture or which
Mm.
part of the world. And the second thing is they have the right mindset. They have the right predisposition. They are willing to learn. There is something that we call at Amazon, which is called learn and be curious. Okay, so in Amazon we love the people that has this learn and be curious mindset. So all the candidates that get successful in a job process, they have this kind of mindset about I know this, and okay, I don't know this, but I would love to learn how to do it. So that's why I'm putting so much importance in the soft skills and in the right mindset, because some candidates, some people are all about the disposition. If they are in the willingness, in the passion, like they are passionate to learn about something. So if you gave them the opportunity, they will be brilliant. So yeah, my answer for that is that all across different countries and all across different cultures, the passion to learn and the willingness to, let's say, get out of their comfort zone. Yeah.
Great, and I can relate to that. Like in the movie The Pursuit of Happiness.
I love that
Smith,
movie.
yeah, like if you don't know the answer, what you're gonna do? So he replied that I'm the type of person that you ask me a question and I don't know the answer. I'm gonna tell you that I don't know, but I
Yeah,
bet you what I know how to find the answer and I'll find the answer.
exactly.
So this is the
Yeah.
right attitude, like if you that thing that you say, just right mindset and learn and be curious.
Yeah.
If
Yeah.
if if anyone has you're a life learner, right? So you can relate. So the
Yeah.
thing is, like people can, like learn anything if they're willing to do it, if they're
Yeah.
curious. So yeah, that
Yeah.
I can rightly connect this with
Nice.
just to share. So like most people have different mindsets. So what do you think about the future skills needed for the youths to excel in their field? So if they want to go for like professional sector, if they want to be an entrepreneur, there are some common skills students should develop while they are in university or before
Mm-hmm.
they are in university. So what are your suggestions? Like fourth industrial revolution is going to happen very soon. In
Yeah.
some countries, it is still happening. So what is
Yeah.
your advice for youths in that
Yeah.
regard?
So I think that my advice will be, first of all, try to, as I mentioned before, and I'm going to be repeating myself here, but it's fine. I prefer to be repeating myself than not saying it enough times. Is try to find what you really like and what you really would like to do. Again, this doesn't mean don't do anything until you find what you like. Start doing something. If you like it, keep in that job, keep in that path, but get better. Get the best one. I don't want to say get the number one, because you are not competing between people. You are not competing against each other, but just if you like your job and if you think that you are good at your job, never get confident about it, and always try to have in mind, okay, what else can I do to improve myself? What new courses can I do? Imagine that you are a doctor and that you graduate in, I don't know, 25 years ago, and that you have never read about medicine before. So your patients are going to be in danger because, since 25 years ago, things have get changed. So this is the same, okay? if you are a business person, if you are a fashion designer, if you are an HR consultant, if you are entrepreneurship and you are doing good, don't get comfortable. Don't feel confident in your position, and keep improving. Read books, listen podcasts, because that's how you are gonna be thinking, oh, I like it, and this is how it's going to keep improving. And in the other hand, if you don't like what you are doing, I won't say, I'm not the person that is going to say stop your job and leave out of the air and leave from nothing. But if you don't like what you are doing, start looking for something while you are in the job. In the sense, we have nowadays a bunch of things on the internet, and you have this kind of career development tests, and this kind of personality test that people do at school and do at university, that you put your personality, your traits, and things you like, and this test show you more or less the kind of job you could do. More into people, more into analytics, more into numbers. That's another thing you can do, But at the same time, keep working, because I don't think you are gonna learn what you like just by stopping your current job. So I don't know if I answered your question, Mahbub, but yeah, I will say that find what you like is what I will encourage people. And secondly is, if you like it, what you are doing, think how you can keep being good at it. Even if that is, join a book club, even if that is listen to different podcasts, even if that is having meaningful conversations with people that have your similar mindset.
Great. No, we are just correctly shared your advice, because we always, like you just said, we always have to go back to what you shared before, that that positive mindset regarding learning new things. Be curious about doing. We always want to have iPhone 14, iPhone 13. Always, every year we want updated version of our technology. Like smartphone, but we don't want to. Most of us do not want to update ourselves. So
Good point.
this is very important. It's like
Good point. Yeah.
then those people will be obsolete when machines and technology, AI is going to develop much more faster than us.
And they will force you to keep growing, because if not, you will get behind.
Exactly. And I promise you, this is the last question we are taking from our comment.
No problem.
So again, how do you see work-life balance theory? Is it practiced at Amazon?
Yeah. So how do I see work-life balance? For me, I see it mandatory, necessary, and non-negotiable. I don't think that is going to be maintainable in time to be in a job that doesn't prioritize the work-life balance. Okay. You can get the goal, you can hit your targets, you can even become more of your targets, but that is not going to work in the long run. People will leave. So work-life balance is not, for me, it's not a theory, it's a real thing. And just answering the second part of the question, at Amazon is practice. It's one of the things that convinced me to leave my previous company and to join this one, which also makes sense. And this may be another idea, but in the work-life balance life, you don't work by hours, you work by objectives. In the sense that I think years ago, you had this mindset of, I'm going to be in the office from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. and I'm going to get home at 9, 10 p.m. I don't even have the dinner ready, and I'm going to go to sleep, and I'm going to do the same every day until you get fed up, okay? And those companies right now, they are changing because they are losing employees. Like even up to a 50, even at up to a 50% of attrition. And nowadays, the work-life balance, what it's doing is you have objectives and you have real goals and real targets. So for example, imagine in my case, my target is to do, I'm going to make something that is not real, But imagine that my target is to do 25 interviews per week. Monica, I don't care when you do it. I don't care if you do these 25 interviews all in one day. I don't care if you do them at night. I don't care if you do them at 5 p.m. because you need to leave soon to pick up your kids at the school. I don't care if you join later because you have gone to the gym first, because I care about you and I care about your well-being. So if you are going to the gym in the morning, if you are picking up your kids in the evening, I know that those objectives, you will get to them because you are happy, and that's how we are going to be measuring you. So yeah, Amazon is a company that works with objectives and with goals, not by timings, not by, let's say, we have this flexibility. And the company that doesn't have it, again, they are going to fail, but they are gonna fail hugely.
Yep, you're right. And interesting question. It's not a question. I just want to know the number. How many candidates you have selected from Bangladesh so far?
Oof, I should have prepared for this question because I don't know the exact number.
But maybe just a tentative number.
Okay. If I had to make a guess out of my total percentage, it would be low. It would be something around 15%. I will say that half of my applicants are from Asia, but they are more from Pakistan and India. Not so many for Bangladesh, but if I have to make a guess, I will say maybe 15 of the applicants. So I keep encouraging people from Bangladesh to keep applying.
Great.
Because
maybe people who are watching our show,
you
are going to get
and in case they don't know it, I'm always saying that most of the jobs have this kind of visa sponsorship and relocation package, so we help with that. I'm just making my own marketing campaign here. Sorry.
No, it's all right. And also, we are at the end of our session, and like people, the rush to people to the person who is in HR. They want to learn a lot, especially students, because like they think HR, they are the most powerful person in a company because they recruit people. So our time is limited, but you have shared so many insightful stuff and information with us, which is we believe from a School of Entrepreneurship Development that is going to help them to work on and to give them an understanding about how they should prepare for the next tech revolution, and if they want for their professional journey. I must.
No, happy to do it.
And yeah, thank you for sharing how to apply for Amazon. so people is going to we believe that send you so many CVs from Bangladesh.
I hope so. Feel free to add me on LinkedIn if any of you needs let's say tips about the CV. But no, Mahbub, I just wanted to say that the pleasure is mine. I wanted to say thank you for having me. When you reached out to me in LinkedIn, I was like, let's see my agenda and let's plan. But definitely, I wouldn't like to miss this opportunity because I just wanted to say kudos to you and kudos to the team behind the initiative and the organization, because I think you are making an impact and you are making a difference. These kind of things. Okay, you have to organize them, but apart from that, once you have organized them, I think people can benefit from them a lot. So thank you.
No, you're welcome. And that's what we're doing. It's a non-profit organization. People who are volunteering with this organization, they're, they find ways and people so that they can share. It's a platform, to share the ideas and knowledge, how we did it. If I said it briefly, how we did it. If it can, help so many young people, students especially, to to realize how they should prepare for their professional journey.
Definitely.
Thank you so much for your time, Monica, and it has been an immense pleasure to have you with us tonight.
My pleasure.
And we wish you best of luck for your future endeavors. And
thank you very much. Thank you for having me.
Dear audience, we believe that you have enjoyed our session, and if you want to apply for Amazon, please send your CV to Monica, and let's see how she can help you. And
Thank you
for watching our show. Have a good weekend. Thank you.
Bye bye.